It's really not anal sex unless you can see the tips of the fingers coming out the throat, like kind of like muppeting it. You got to be able to muppet yourself.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. This is the Pixel Junkies podcast, episode 202. I'm one of your hosts, Rory, and on mic number 1 we got Adam.
Hello.
On mic number 2 we got Aaron.
How's it going?
And on mic number 3 we have Andrew.
Whoas.
Just like to clarify that Rory's mic ordering is not the official order of the mics.
Yeah, no, it's entirely arbitrary.
with editing taken into account anyway.
It's consistent but arbitrary.
Yeah.
The big news, first big piece of news we have to talk about this week is Borderlands 3 got a trailer.
Oh my god.
And we're all just waiting and hoping it's not going to be an Epic Store exclusive.
It's genuinely amazing to me, if I can just kind of interject first, that the teaser came out on Tuesday, and then the actual trailer came out on Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday, or whatever it was, and it was genuinely astounding to me watching the trailer. And we'll get into the kind of fucking disaster that the announcement, like the premiere of the trailer was later, I'm sure. But it was just once the trailer was released on YouTube, every single comment on both the teaser and the trailer was something to the effect of, "Oh man, I can't wait for this to be an Epic Store exclusive." It's like, man, I really like Borderlands, but I guess it's going to be chock full of microtransactions now. And somebody's like, Borderlands, more like loot box lands, or whatever the fuck. And I basically was watching the trailer thinking the same fucking thing, like, oh man, I can't wait to play another Borderlands game and see how Randy fucking Pitchford is going to fuck this one up.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get into talking about the... I don't know. Is it worth talking about the reveal? It was kind of an interesting thing. Cool trailer, I guess.
You mean the trailer itself?
In terms of just announcing that there was a new Borderlands game, not that it was officially the third one yet. There was that kind of the white trailer, I guess, the Mask of Mayhem trailer.
Right, yeah, the first teaser that came out. Yeah, I'm not entirely sort of sure why they did that, but I guess it made everybody pay attention to the actual trailer, I guess. Maybe. I don't really get it,
Yeah, they did say they were going to announce something at PAX a long time ago, so, here we are. But then, of course, we got to the actual unveiling. I don't know why they picked PAX to do it, but they did. They probably...
it might be because nobody else ever reveals anything at PAX. I figured, hey, it'll be the only thing people really talk about from this, as opposed to EA, or E3.
And the only thing people ever reveal at it, because it was a fucking disaster that it was. So they announced a bunch of things there. There's a new Tiny Tina card game or some nonsense. Some other random Borderlands-related crap. But the big one everybody wanted to see... they announced, was it a remaster of the first two games coming to modern consoles?
Well, it's like a 4K texture pack, I think, or something like that.
So there's already a remaster available of all of the games, I think?
A remaster.
I'm not sure if that includes the pre-sequel, Andrew.
I think it does include the pre-sequel. I'm not sure about the first one.
No, what I'm saying is I'm not sure if it includes it as remastered. Like, you remember when they did the BioShock collection, and it was all the games that the third one wasn't actually remastered. It was just part of the thing. It might be a situation like that, but I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Anyway, if you own the Handsome collection, you'll get a 4K update when this comes out in next week, a week. It comes out in a week. God.
Andrew hasn't slept for 3 weeks or something, so don't expect a lot from him for this podcast.
The unveiling of the trailer was a fucking disaster because I guess whatever shitty laptop they were using couldn't handle playing 4K videos, which is what Randy gave them.
Can I be honest with you? When I watched, because I'm not a huge Twitch watcher, and I was at work when it came on, and so I was like, oh, I'll just check out the trailer on Twitch, and so I was watching Twitch, and I'm like, wow, this looks really good, but too bad my internet connection is so bad; it keeps stuttering. And then the trailer ended, and Randy came out and was like, "Yeah, sorry about that for the stuttering." I'm like, "Oh, it was on their end. Oh shit, he should feel fucking awful."
Yeah. when they played the remastered trailer, it was the same thing, and he was like, "I really hope the fucking video for the other thing we're showing works, because I really want it to be good." And then they played it, and it was still awful.
How many?
So
like he definitely like went on stage like, well, that's what happens at these live shows, and he goes back behind stage and immediately starts like pulling out a gun and shooting people. Like, fuck, you ruined it! 5 fucking years and you ruined it.
I don't know. Randy's gotten some flack, but I think he handled the conference pretty well.
He did. He did handle the conference well.
So that was all right.
Randy is good at things. Like, not all things, but there are things that he is good at, right? Like, that's like,
oh my God.
Like, I feel like he definitely gets a lot of flack, but I feel like he maybe doesn't get like quite enough attention for like his successes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like the reality of his not successes is that they're very public, and they tend to be like
bad. Lest we forget aliens.
They tend to be like very.
That might be
exactly
one of
what
the
I was
worst
thinking about, right?
Games
it was just like
to come out this decade, because like putting aside all the bullshit and tidal waves of crap on Steam, which are just made by, kids in their basement trying to make a quick buck. Like, that was a major game put out by a major publisher. I think it's hard to tell because everybody started laying blame at everybody else, with major studio dollars behind it, and for it to be that bad, it's actually astounding.
Yeah, it is astounding. But and equally astounding to me is the tremendous success of Borderlands. Right? I think that it's confusing. It's like a Capcom situation. You guys know, like Capcom is bad a lot of the time, and then Capcom is amazing for like 2 months. Right? It's like Capcom is terrible. Street Fighter V is rocky. There's ads in it, and then all of a sudden, there's the Resident Evil 2 remake and Devil May Cry 5. And now Capcom is amazing.
Except when they go to re-release Mega Man 0, 2, or whatever the fuck, and it's got microtransactions and loot boxes in it for a side-scrolling fucking shooter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like weird, right? It's weird that and I know Capcom is primarily a publisher, but it's weird that all this stuff can come from the same company. And likewise, it's weird that all this stuff with Gearbox is all Gearbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an aside, Devil May Cry 5 looks so fucking stupid.
Before we get on to that, can we talk a little bit more about Borderlands? Because I just want to mention very briefly about the trailers themselves. So the first teaser that launched, I actually thought was a pretty good teaser. I really liked it. It's hard to describe what it is. Just go on YouTube and look up Borderlands 3 teaser. It's quite good. And then we got an actual kind of trailer 2 days later, so I don't know why there was a teaser. But anyway, it was really cool to see what they're doing with the franchise, because everyone's like, oh, Borderlands is a looter shooter. It's and that's what it is. But if you play Borderlands enough, there's actually not a plot so much, but a consistent world with very likable characters in it. And it's very nice to see those characters kind of over and over again. So, like, when you play Borderlands 1 and 2 in the pre-sequel, like, a lot of the side characters that you kind of form an attachment with, like, what's his name? Scooter? It's Scooter and Claptrap and Sir Hammerlock and all that kind of stuff. Like, to see them pop up in games or even just to hear their voice is actually really cool. So the trailer showed a lot of those characters in this new game. And what's really cool is we got to see some characters from the Telltale Games Borderlands series, which I thought was amazing. That was probably my favorite Telltale series.
All the sirens are in this game, which I think is really cool.
There's still one missing, isn't there?
There's only 2.
No, there's 6.
Well, I mean, the siren from...
Oh. They
sorry,
all the games.
All the mainline playable sirens are in this game.
Because
the
2 were dead, and one was the player character in the first game, one was the player character in the second game, and presumably one is going to be the chick with the kind of Shiva arms in this game.
Yeah,
so,
that's the new one.
Kind of speaking, we got to see some of the characters. None of the new character classes. Like, obviously, there's 4 of them. One of them is a siren, obviously. One of them looks to be able to summon a big mech. I don't know what the other two do, because you didn't really get to see their powers very much.
What do you think the new Siren's power is going to be? Because it's got to rhyme with walk. So, rock or block.
Sock.
Phase block.
What the the new siren. The new siren has a phase lock.
Yeah, but what's her ability? Yeah, phase cock.
A phase lock.
Yes, but Lilith's ability was phase walk.
Yeah, and Maya's is phase lock.
Exactly, so it needs to rhyme.
Yeah, this one is just phase lock again, though.
Oh, that's lame. You fucked off there, Randy.
Yeah, so there's the yeah, so we have
5 years we got lock again.
We have the mech one. We have the like 0 one. And we have a siren, and we have one more, and I don't really know much about
Well, I mean, there's no information released about the last one yet. Oh, wait, no.
This game sucks.
Wait, there is. We know that the last one controls animals.
Oh, is that what they... Oh, okay, I didn't see that information.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we have all 4 characters, their names and their class,
shit.
right? Yeah.
Let me look that up. I did not see that. I thought I looked. I must have looked for it yesterday before the information came out. I thought I looked for it today. So you know me.
What about phase shock?
That's cool.
Phase shock's a good.
There were some noticeable character absentees from the trailer, though. One, it was nice to see kind of a grown-up Tiny Tina. I know Rory, you don't like Tiny Tina, right? If I remember correctly.
No, I like Tiny Tina.
Well, it's not
like
tiny anymore, is it? We need a rhyme for that too. Teeny Tina.
I think Tiny Tina's annoying as hell.
That's Andrew you're thinking of, I think, yeah.
I like Ashley Burch,
It's also nice to see, or we didn't see any of the characters from, like, any of the player characters from the second game, except for Maya. And we saw Zero, but we didn't see, see Salvador, or was it Axton? I can't remember his name.
Axton, yeah, we didn't see Salvador or Axton.
Gage or Krieg. Krieg, is that was his name?
Or we didn't see Mad
Krieg,
Moxie.
that's
we
right.
didn't see Mad Moxie. That was the other one.
Yeah, but she's in the game.
We did see fucking Sir Hammerlock's sister from the pre-sequel, which I thought was pretty neat. So maybe we'll get to see, like, Athena.
Lady Hammercock or something.
Maybe we'll get to see Athena as well.
What about phase cock?
Oh, God.
You can seal up some windows.
Can you fast travel in this game?
Yes. You can. We gotta go to the different checkpoints, though.
Oh.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
I don't know where to check.
Borderlands.
The map doesn't... Wait, hang on. Outpost, is that? Whatever. Jesus. Anyway, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Borderlands 3, and then you decided to throw in that you thought Devil May Cry 5 was stupid.
You said Capcom was
killing
it right now.
Okay, I loosely brought it up, but okay. That's
is there anything else anybody wants to say about Borderlands 3, or should we move on to Devil May Cry?
Looks amazing. I can't wait.
I am tentatively excited.
I will say that it does look amazing. I can't wait. At the same time, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop with regards to it being an Epic Games Store exclusive, microtransactions, loot boxes, a battle arena. Although that one's kind of out the window. That one.
There were actually a lot of complaints in certain corners of the internet that there was no.
Oh, fuck off!
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's been...
What? How? It came out before Battle Royale was even a big deal.
No, in the third game.
Oh, then the new one. Oh, okay,
yeah. They came out and they were disappointed that the third one wasn't the Battle Royale game. Which I find ridiculous, but apparently some people are like... You're getting into a generation now that grew up with microtransactions and it's become a thing. So when they get a game where they can't just instantly have the best shit because they paid for it, they go, oh, that's fucking stupid. You gotta play this game? Oh my god.
But you have to bear in mind as well that Randy Pitchford has also publicly said that he is against predatory monetization. And we're all going to take that at face value. We're all taking that at face value, okay? It's Randy, okay?
Yeah. Just the monetary side of predatory actions.
Not to burst your bubble there, Roy, but was this the same Randy Pitchford that said that Aliens was one of his favorite franchise and he wanted to do right by that franchise?
He loves it. He plays it all the time. What's your problem?
Okay, all right. Sorry. I should. You know what? I shouldn't.
Randy Hines.
I shouldn't have questioned.
It's the same guy.
It's the same guy this whole time.
He's only
I believe
human
it.
after all.
No wonder he's been quiet on Twitter all these months.
Yeah, I was
He's
just
working
about
on
to say that.
Borderlands.
Yeah, whenever Randy's in the news, someone find me an instance where Randy and Pete tweeted on the same day. Not real. Not real. Pete Irons has still not tweeted anything.
All he does is
like-
retweet.
Yeah, he hasn't tweeted anything original in months.
How do I get out of here?
So anyways, now that we're talking about... Oh, wait, we already talked about that. All right, never mind. No spoilers, but Love, Death, and Robot. No, wait a minute. Aaron. Devil May Cry 5 is amazing. What's your... Why are...
I could hear the smile
What?
on your face there, so you agree.
Help, Aaron. Why...
It's a game that refuses to acknowledge how much time has passed since it started.
What?
Like it still thinks it thinks it's cool when it's really not. Everybody looks at how ridiculous it is, and they're like, okay, this is kind of up its own ass, kind of campy nonsense. But the game doesn't do that. It thinks it's cool. Like it genuinely thinks it's a cool game.
It is a cool game.
No, it's not.
Devil May Cry 5. All right, we're gonna do a special in Devil May Cry 5.
Absolutely not. We did
And
fucking
y'all are gonna
DMC.
love it. Y'all are gonna love it.
Same fucking thing.
DMC is also a
Some
great game.
stupid
Adam,
asshole with emo hair.
I did.
With a sword that has an engine, kills. Well, he likes to hear himself talk is the main thing, but talk at massive demon things that push him around on a ledge or whatever, because that's how the level.
I do like DMC Devil May Cry because I felt like that game, unlike all the other Devil May Cry games, wasn't up its own ass in terms of its story, except for the first one.
You'd like 5 as well. The 5 you'll feel right at home in 5.
I honestly thought that the DMC Devil May Cry Dante was in 5, and then I was like, oh wait, that's just another character that looks exactly like him, because not Dante. Who's the other guy? Nero. Nero looks exactly like Dante from DMC.
Fuck, man.
But well, no, I mean Dante like from DMC looks like Nero.
Or whatever.
Nero was
I don't
first,
give a fuck.
Right? Like what I'm saying is that Nero didn't copy Dante.
Oh, okay.
It's the other way around.
What I will say though is I watched the opening cutscene. What I think is the opening cutscene to this game with I think it's Dante in like a detective agency, and the choreography of the cutscene was actually very well done in terms of like how it was shot. It's just like an over-the-top anime, and I think if you go into that knowing that this is basically an over-the-top anime, the game, then I think you're going to be fine.
It's kind of a lot like Yakuza in that sense. Like, it's very stylistic and very out there. You know what else is out there? One can only assume. I haven't seen it yet. Love, Death, and Robots.
No, you skipped one. You skipped the thing.
Todd Howard. Who changed the order of this?
I did.
I love how Andrew does this just to screw with me. All right, Todd Howard.
I actually added this. I didn't change any order. This is breaking news.
I was considering putting this in myself, actually. So Todd Howard has confirmed that neither Elder Scrolls 6 nor Starfield will be at Bethesda's E3 conference, and Bethesda is giving an E3 conference.
With what?
So it's not going to feature either of those two things.
Like, what are they going to talk about?
Adam, good question.
Fallout
good question.
76.
The only thing I can think of that's coming out soon is, well, I guess it's going to be very featured heavily on Rage and Doom.
Doom Eternal? Yeah.
And Wolfenstein. There's new Wolfenstein coming out.
Isn't that already out?
No.
Is that Wolfenstein Youngblood or something?
Yeah.
I thought that just came out.
Wolfenstein plays your cringy daughters that ruins the trilogy.
That's Andrew being a misogynist.
Yeah. Oh, well, we got a topic on that. Stick around for misogyny.
How do you play this fucking game? How do you know where to go?
It's Borderlands. What are you doing?
It says I have a waypoint, but I don't know where it is. Like, I'm toggling a mission on and off, and it's not giving me a waypoint. So I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, I really don't know. In my opinion, Bethesda doesn't have enough probably for an E3 conference, but you know what? They usually don't have enough, and they still do it.
Fucking Nintendo and Sony, these big, massive publishers, and even Activision or EA. Is it EA who's not going? Yeah. Even EA, who have more stuff coming out than fucking
Swallow your tongue, dude.
shut up. Then Bethesda have pulled out of E3, and Bethesda's charging ahead, despite how kind of laughable their last conference was. I do love how gamers. It's kind of a weird phenomenon, but every gamer I know loves and hates and loves to hate E3. It's amazing. Like I was like, oh man, I can't wait for E3 this year. And then you talk to them later on that day, and they'll be like, so you excited for E3? Nah, E3 is stupid. And you talk to them like an hour later, and they'll be like, oh man, I can't wait to make fun of EA at E3 this year. And it's just like, well, I actually really.
Well, that's why everybody likes.
That's why I'm sad that.
Well, E3 is great. E3 is a great opportunity to get together with your friends. And talk shit about the game industry.
Yeah, the anticipation is getting to make fun of all the cringy nonsense, but with the added bonus of maybe getting a decent game out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. I'm excited to fit into Adam's pattern. I'm excited for E3 this year, so we can all hang out and laugh at Ubisoft.
Also, it should be noted that like even though Sony and Nintendo are not like actively in E3, they're still having conferences that week. So it's not like it's like they're not in E3, but they're right outside the door.
And I'll be watching them too. They'll be great. Yeah,
Oh, I guess you just instantly. All right.
So yeah, this is gonna be interesting to see what Bethesda can do. So guys, Love, Death, and Robots, spoiler free. Haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet this week. Tell me about it. What do you like about it? What do you not?
Andrew,
like
do you want to go first?
It's amazing.
Okay. I also liked it. So if you don't know what this is, it's Netflix's new series that has come out. There's I think 20 episodes in all. I can't remember. Like
I think there's 18.
And each of them is anywhere between 4 at the shortest, I believe, to I think 20 minutes long at the longest. Different animated or semi-animated shorts about a wide variety of topics. I don't think there's any kind of consistent theme except for science fiction / fantasy. It's very
well. The common theme is love, death, and robots.
I suppose, but anyway,
everything.
It sounds like
love, death, or robots, or any combination.
It sounds like Black Mirror, but with better quality control.
Yeah, actually.
And so there's 18 shorts in all. No spoilers. This is one of the best things that Netflix has ever come out with. I really, really enjoyed it. At the very worst, the worst of these shorts is just okay, and the best of these shorts are really, really amazing. Like, they're just really great. I'm a big fan of animation of any style, and it was great to see so many different styles of animation and what they could do with that animation. Some kind of standouts in terms of the quality of the animation include the first one, which is Sunny's Edge.
Depending on what order you get, supposedly the order is different.
Apparently there are a few different.
Oh, is there? Okay, well I'll so hang on, I'm bringing up the list here now of the different episodes. So I liked in terms of the animation, I liked Sunny's Edge and 3 Robots, because there's some of them that are really like just realistic CGI. Sunny's Edge and 3 Robots is a good example of that. Stuff like Suits and Sucker of Souls are more 2D animated, like traditional animation, and they're very well done. Mm-hmm. Then you get
and Good Hunting.
Yes, and Good Hunting. And then you get some stuff like Zima Blue, which is a lot more stylized. Which was also very, very good. And Blind Spot, which is, again, very stylized. And then you get some stuff that's kind of a hybrid, like Ice Age, for example, is a hybrid of live action and kind of CGI. And that's really the only one that does that. Movie. They're all very, very good. This is amazing. Like, you should... I binged them in an evening. So it's definitely worth your time just to sit down and binge them if you're a fan of science fiction, fantasy, or any kind of speculative fiction.
How long are they a piece?
Anywhere between 4 and 16 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so they are shorts, indeed.
I don't,
what was your favorite episode?
I really like Sunny's Edge, which was the first one for me. That was, really, like, just amazing. I can't say why it's amazing about it without spoiling the shit out of it, but it's just very well written, and the core concept behind it is fucking awesome. I also liked 3 Robots because it's hilarious, and I liked Good Hunting, and man, it's hard for me to pick a favorite, and The Secret War, I guess, because that one was also very good. But at the same time, like, Zima Blue was very well done. Fish Knight had a really cool premise. Lucky 13 was just awesome and action-packed. Shapeshifter was the same thing. I don't know. The only one I didn't really super like was Helping Hand, and I can't say why.
No?
It's more... It's not that it's not good, because it is. I'm more just freaked the fuck out over what happened in that. It's such a visceral thing to experience what happens in that. It's like a holy fucking shit. That's really... I'm not blaming them for doing that. It's not a mark against it, but it's more like that kind of situation that the character was put in is something that I find very like scary. It's the reason, and when you see this short, you're gonna know what movie I'm referring to. It's the reason I didn't see a very popular movie, 2014 movie. One of the reasons is because of the subject matter that the short is based off of.
You never saw that movie?
I did not know, because I don't because the idea of that thing happening freaks me the fuck out.
Is it a spoiler? Is it a spoiler for what movie it is?
Yes.
Gravity.
Oh. Are you?
Oh, okay, Gravity. Yeah.
But don't worry, it really doesn't spoil too much. It takes place in space. I'll say that.
I knew there was an episode that took place in space, anyways. So
there's a couple.
Probably no big deal. Oh, I saw a clip from one. I saw that it existed.
Oh, that's why you never saw it, Adam?
I also thought it looked fucking awful.
The trailer was terrible. It's one of the worst trailers I've ever seen.
I completely disagree.
The movie's good.
The
movie's
soundtrack.
good. Trailer's bad.
The
soundtrack of Gravity is outstanding.
Trailer was great.
Anyway.
Like, if you watch that movie and only pay attention to the music, you know exactly what's going on.
Andrew, what was your favorite?
It's really good. My favorite episode? Yeah. Beyond the Aquila Rift.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I didn't... It's not that I didn't dislike that one or anything. I just like the other ones more. But that was definitely like one of the better hard sci-fi ones, because like stuff like the Shapeshifter or the Secret War are definitely kind of on the low sci-fi end, or even not even sci-fi at all. But that was definitely a very high sci-fi kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Shapeshifters has. Again, I can't spoil it, but it has the best type of that thing fighting. The best fight scene of that thing, I think, ever put to film.
Yeah.
Or on video.
Yeah, it's really good.
Or animated. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's got to be the most in-depth, vaguest review possible.
Aaron, have you watched the series yet?
I've watched 2 episodes, Sunny's Edge and 3 Robots. I kind of got hung up on Sunny's Edge because I just watched it multiple times over and over. Kind of, when I started watching it, I had gotten a notification that there was an anthology of shit coming out. I didn't really pay attention to what the name was, and then Andrew said you should watch this thing. And I wasn't sure if that was the same thing or not. I watched the first episode. I was like, man, 18 episodes of this. Fuck yeah.
That's what I felt too.
And then I realized it's like, oh, that's this anthology series, and there's only 1 episode of this. Well, I'm just gonna watch this one multiple times.
That's why it's my favorite, because it's so good and it's so cool. And I got to the end and I'm like, fuck, can we get a series of this? This is awesome. This is like the coolest shit I've ever seen. It's amazing. I want a series. Like, and the other stuff is good, don't get me wrong, but I watched that and I'm like, I feel kind of bad because I feel like they put the best stuff out first.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I watched 3 Robots, and it's not bad, but it's like definitely not even anywhere close to Sunny's Edge.
You should keep watching them, because there's certainly other episodes of equal quality to Sunny's Edge, for sure.
Yeah.
You might not like them as much, based on
I'll get
the
through them
concept,
eventually. But
Good Hunting stands out as kind of on that same level, or the Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought 3 Robots kind of felt like an uncensored Disney movie with no soul. So I was like, I don't
know about that. I definitely think I wonder about the.
Well, to me, I got the impression that Netflix went to this company and said, hey, you guys want to make a short for our anthology? And that's what they did. It doesn't feel like something they made because they wanted to make it. It feels like it was made because they were asked to do it.
Actually, apparently the guy behind this, the showrunner for the series, actually, he said in an interview that this Love, Death, and Robots has started out as a heavy metal sequel. He wanted to, or a remake or something. He wanted to do that, and he couldn't get it off the ground, and eventually a lot of the concepts he had for that made its way into this anthology series. I really hope this gets a sequel, because it's really very good.
I'm hearing nothing but good things, but yeah, I think the guy behind this made the original heavy metal movie.
Oh,
or
really?
was at least involved in that somehow. Which is fantastic. Fantastic movie. You should all see it. If you like this, you should watch Heavy Metal.
I think
Not
I've seen
Heavy
it.
Metal 2000.
No.
That's different.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Heavy Metal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great.
I highly recommend watching it. It's definitely worth your time. Again, the episodes are very short and they're very digestible.
So let me ask you guys a question. You guys like Final Fantasy?
Yes. No. Well, I like some Final Fantasy.
Ha 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 ha.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Specifically not that one.
Well, the good news is there's a surprise update that
for what?
I didn't
Anyway,
Andrew has worded this in a rather obtuse way.
Anus 1800 is coming out. What is that? Oh, Anno.
Wait, I don't know. I don't know what this Final Fantasy thing is. Andrew, tell me about this.
Yeah, actually, Rory, PC Gamer worded it very wrong, very weirdly, because I literally just copy and paste.
Oh, it's that headline? It's a really bad headline.
So Final Fantasy X and X-2 on PC. HD remaster update.
Oh man, only the worst ones.
Wait, is this only on PC? I would assume so. Yes, it doesn't make sense for it to not be on PC. Yeah. The PC version was updated recently, and for some reason it was made into an always online DRM thing.
No, for some reason. Yeah, I wonder what the reason was.
But it's a single player game. There's no online mechanics. In Kingdom Hearts 10, I know I played the whole fucking thing, right from Xanarkin right up to fucking Bast. What the fuck is fucking oh my god, what was the final guy's name? Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. It was awful.
And what was awful?
Oh. Final Fantasy X, just a fucking awful game. Good battle system, good music, and beautifully rendered and animated cutscenes, but the character design and the story, and for fuck's sake, the characters are all awful. When you have a cast of like 10
you didn't
characters,
like Tidus?
No, the only good character in any of those games is fucking Auron, and he dies at the end of it. Spoiler alert for like a 20-year-old game. Holy fuck! Final Fantasy X is 20 years old. What did you ask?
Like Faith?
Who the fuck is Faith?
I mean, Fang.
Who's Fang? That's Final Fantasy 13.
Lady in blue.
That's Final Fantasy 13.
But she was also in 10.
No, she wasn't.
There was somebody in 10.
That's Thunder.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Andrew.
You know where you meet the giant saber-toothed tiger thing?
You mean
your companion?
Oh, Kamari, yeah.
Yeah, you see a lady up there as well.
Do you mean Lulu?
It wasn't Lulu. Lulu had big tits and she was somewhere else.
Is this in 10 or 10-2?
You're thinking of Lululemons.
No, this is 10.
I really don't think Faith is in 10.
It's Fang.
Or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Whatever. Let's move on. Roy, save us.
All right. So, Anno 1800 is an Epic Store. All right. Is an Epic Store exclusive. Another one. What? Yay.
Well, I'm never playing that, even though I wasn't planning on
it. It is available for pre-order up until it launches.
What? But this is an Ubisoft game. Why is it an Epic Store exclusive if it's an Ubisoft game?
Help! Someone
explain
Doesn't
this to me.
Ubisoft have their own digital launcher?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's bad, but they don't care.
So is it going to be on the Uplay store also? Because Division did the same thing, and it's also on Uplay.
Let me check.
Which is infinitely better than Epic, but still dog shit.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't appear that it will be. I mean, oh wait, hold on. It's available for pre-purchase on Epic and Steam and Uplay. Yeah.
Yeah, but only until launch. After launch, it will be pulled from Steam. So you can buy it on Steam.
Can someone get a hold of Andy Chalk, who wrote this PC Gamer article, who said available for pre-purchase on Epic as well as Steam and Uplay if that's your thing. No. No, Uplay is not the worst of those three things, Andy. Andy, get it together.
Like, I feel like there's I mean, a lot of people are saying this, but there are very clear narratives being pushed by journalists. And it seems like a hive mind sort of thing, where everybody seems to be defending the Epic Store nowadays because it's what the typical quote unquote gamer is not a huge fan of right now. So it seems like all the journalists are like, no, it's actually really good.
Like,
I don't know.
It's like my balance. You know about my balance for PC games. Ooh. I use Steam for new games, and I use GOG for games that come out on GOG. Right? If a game comes out on GOG, I'd prefer generally, as a rule, to have it there. But not a lot of new games come out on GOG, and so I like Steam fine as a service, and I'm getting more and more picky about that kind of stuff as I get older, and it's amazing to me, so many gamers I seem to talk to like GOG and like Steam, and none of them like Epic Games at all. So, you might have a point there, Andrew, because it seems like not only is it what the typical gamer likes, I don't know any gamers that like the Epic Games Store. I don't know one. Anyone know anybody who likes the Epic Games Store?
Randy Pitchford, probably.
Yeah, he does.
He does actually. Yeah, that's true.
Not to play devil's advocate here, but wasn't the Steam storefront page also garbage when it launched?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
When it launched, it was only for Half-Life.
Yeah. That was just the launcher.
There was also no competition back then. Now I feel like it's incumbent on you to, if you want to compete, provide the best thing that's out there.
Well, it's kind of like the Atari 2600 is a pretty ancient console with a terrible controller in retrospect. But at the time, it was the only thing available. If a console were released now with the same controller and hardware, it'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? We've innovated for 30 years. Kind of same with Steam. Exactly. Steam has shown people what the minimum of features should be, or what minimum features people expect for your digital storefront. And the fact that they don't have that at launch is, it's not good, what it is.
Also, let me tell you something. I've bought stuff from some pretty low-tier websites in my day. Right, we've all done it, right?
We're getting those bootleg sneakers.
We've all looked at something that was $12 and said, "I don't really want it, but I don't really not want it." Next thing you know, you got an autographed picture of the weatherman, right? And even those really low budget broke ass websites have a shopping cart. Why doesn't the Epic Games Store have a shopping cart? I've never used a service in my life that didn't have a shopping cart.
I mean, even the worst online stores like Amazon and eBay have shopping carts.
You mean the worst online store? You mean the pioneers of internet shopping?
Yeah, the worst. I said that mostly because I want Jeff Bezos to be sitting down eating his children or whatever the fuck he eats, and just to be like, ah! If somebody insults Amazon, he doubles over in pain and then goes back to eating his children.
You should buy an Alexa and then tell him that. But then he'll laugh at you because you bought Alexa.
When you install Alexa, the first thing that it says is just a recording of Jeff Bezos laughing at you, and then he can just use it. That'd be awesome.
Why did Ubisoft name their world-building game after a British person saying anal?
What?
Oi, anyone up for a bit of the old anal?
I need a right rimming on my anal.
I don't think I mean maybe I'm not up on my cultural stereotypes, but I don't think that sentence has ever just been offered out to anyone. Just like, hey, anyone up for this? Like I don't think that's usually put
By the
out
way,
to a
Andrew,
room.
that joke fell so flat that there's a bunch of basketball players going to be yelling about it on Twitter, arguing that it's flat, not round. Which is also a very flat joke.
This was a flat Earth. This was some basketball players believe in flat Earth joke.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
The
jib up your jib, mate.
But
fill your anal with my gravy.
Talking about Epic. Oh my god, I hate everything.
Like I said, Rory's now 1 inch away from quitting this podcast.
Speaking of 1 inch, how about you let me crab up your anal?
We can't even cut his scene because he's just recording himself. Did Rory leave? Did we lose Rory?
So, talking about the Epic Store and actual good services like GOG, you know who has a lot of games on GOG? Devolver Digital. And
you mean like a good developer?
Are you kidding, Andrew?
What?
I didn't read that topic before I just saw Devolver Digital and it made my segue. Are you kidding me?
What the fuck? What's the topic?
Oh my god. Okay, so apparently a Devolver Digital game is now an Epic Games exclusive. Forget about everything good I was just about to say about Devolver Digital. Forget it all. Scrap it right now.
Isn't that game already out?
God.
And isn't it already on Steam?
Observation? You're thinking of Observer.
Oh.
You're thinking of Absolver.
Or Absolver.
Oh.
Yeah. Absolver is a Devolver Digital game.
Is that the horror game, The Observer?
Yeah. Starring Rutger
Jeff
Hauer.
Bezos. Oh.
This is just such a terrible story.
Should we preface why we hate Epic so much, or have we done that enough in previous videos?
It doesn't have any features that you would expect of a storefront whatsoever.
It does have the Chinese government spying on you, though.
Let's just ignore that for a moment. Let's pretend that that's not a part of it.
Okay.
The thing is, like whenever you talk about things like information privacy, there's a possibility that someone has, like certain principles where they could feel a certain way, and what I'm saying is you're not going to get a universal opinion. However, regardless of what your principles are, it is universally bad to not have a system where people can refund their games, or people can review their games, or people can buy multiple games. Those are just universally terrible features.
It's terrible not to have those features.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, it's terrible. That's a good point. Not to have those features.
Your storefront has a shopping cart function? Terrible. No longer using it. That's it, Jeff Bezos. You're out of here.
Doesn't have any cloud saves. You can't gift games. There's no cheap. You can't do anything. I literally wonder what you can do on this store except buy Metro and stuff like that, one at a time. I literally think the only thing you can do is give to Epic. They don't give you anything except the game, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Tim Sweeney, the human tampon himself, said that they are helping the industry, Rory.
Randy Pitchford said the same thing. They're both wrong.
They're both in the same PR meeting, I guess.
Wow, yeah. This is so it's really irritating to me that that there's all these games, even Devolver Digital, which is like Devolver Digital is kind of one of the good guys, has been kind of one of the good guys, right? They make good games. They did great sort of like kind of unusual E3 presentations that I actually thought were really entertaining.
They take the piss out of E3.
Yeah, they do very much, and I think their games are really cool, man. Like I think they're different.
Well,
and they're
take
their own
some
thing.
piss out of Epic.
And now they're over, doing their thing with Epic Games, and I don't like that at all. I really don't. Have you guys? Can I ask you guys a question? Have you ever noticed that on Randy Pitchford's Wikipedia page, it doesn't list his birthplace?
No, because then you would be able to draw without a shadow of a doubt that he is in fact also Pete Hines. Born in the same area at the same day, at the same time. Jesus Christ.
Probably. Pete Hines doesn't even have a Wikipedia, but his oh, he's actually from Puerto Rico. How about that?
Randy Pitchford.
Good for him.
Who, Pete Hines or Randy?
What do you mean good for him? He didn't decide to be born in Puerto Rico.
No, Randy Pitchford is Puerto Rican.
I just wanted to add something.
I'm pretty sure that's made up. Pretty sure he's stealing someone's identity. Randy's Puerto Rican. I don't know about that.
Can I tell a quick story before we continue? Just because it happened to me today, and I thought it was funny.
Before you tell the story, Rory, make sure it was an actual thing that happened to you and not some sort of dream.
No, this actually did happen. So I had to get a cab into work today, and the cab driver was super racist.
Oh, that's good.
And just generally irritating. And he didn't like women very much either. I'll give you an example. He said, he was recounting a story. This guy, I guess, had been tailgating him or whatever. And he was like, I was surprised. It was a guy, too. It wasn't a girl, stupid. I was like, what?
Okay. All right, you pull over here.
And then later on, he told me, he said that he was, a lot of Newfoundlanders are leaving Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the place we're from, by the way. And he said, but a lot of the Chinese are sticking around. And he liked that because he said the Chinese were smart. But the thing he didn't like about the Chinese is that they wanted to work in the banks because they wanted to control all the money, which is interesting because that's not a Chinese stereotype. That's actually a Jewish stereotype. So he's not sort of got his...
At least he's creative.
His categorization straight. It was a
who
very
are we
interesting
to tell him how to
ride.
be racist?
2019 already.
Yeah, I'd be
he's
racist
not even being
however I want.
racist correctly.
Don't
You
racist
guys,
shame.
Andrew, what's your favorite Elder Scrolls game?
Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind.
That's right, Andrew.
I thought it was Elder Scrolls New Vegas.
No, that's Fallout.
Well, the good news for you, Andrew, Morrowind, well, it's maybe not good news for you because you already own it, but Morrowind was free on the Epic launcher recently and is still free when we're recording this.
On
but is
the
about
Epic
to not
launcher
be
or
free.
on the Bethesda?
Sorry, yeah, the Bethesda launcher.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So
so
Bethesda
many launchers.
Bethesda launcher, maybe not everybody's favorite launcher. But I imagine if you just play Bethesda games, you like it a lot because that's all they have. And you can't change your username. Why can't you change your username, Bethesda? Change that. Jesus. It's the only launcher you can't change your username on PC. The only one.
On PC,
Can you change it on Epic?
Oh, well, okay, never mind. I
like that you didn't even
You
count
can.
Epic as much of a launcher, too.
I didn't count it as the launcher, but I know for a fact that you can change your Epic username. Because I have an Epic account, not for the Epic Game Store, Jesus Christ. I have an Epic account because the Unreal Engine 4. Kind of no getting around that. Same reason I have a Microsoft account is for Visual Studio. There's just nothing better. So yeah, the Morrowind is a cool game, and it's cool that it was free, and mods are also free because
Indeed.
unfortunately Todd, until Todd tries paid mods again. And
what do you mean tried? They're currently doing it.
I guess they are currently doing it. I don't know what the success is on that.
I'm sure it's a lot more successful on PS4 than it is on any other platform.
Yes, me too. And so Morrowind is just really cool, and if you didn't play it, you should play it. And you could pick it up on GOG for like $13 or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like
real
ridiculously cheap, right?
You can also pick up Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on GOG, which is the version you should buy because it works out of the box, so to speak.
And also, I mean, like it makes a lot of sense to buy those games there, I think. And that's also that's real cheap. I don't know what it costs exactly, but I know it's cheap. And all these games are games you could sink lots of hours into, so they're well worth like. Even if it's was maybe $30 or something, it's still worth the $30 by far. You'll get a lot more out of it than you will out of a lot of full-priced games. So, That's really cool. Let's talk about a very old game called Beneath a Steel Sky.
Oh,
I've never heard of this game.
Hot dog. Holy crap.
I know this is a game that Andrew likes.
Yeah, I love old
point-and-click
adventure games. Beneath the Steel Sky is a really famous one. If you're a fan of, say, Broken Sword or the LucasArts point-and-click games, you've probably heard of Beneath the Steel Sky. Anyway, the surprise, there's actually a sequel coming out soon called Beyond a Steel Sky. I think seems to be written by the same guy. I might just be making that up, but it looks like it's being designed, at least art-wise, by one of the guys that made Watchmen. So there's a very similar style in how the characters look, which is cool. This seems to be a fully 3D adventure game.
What do you mean, which Watchmen?
Like watching the comic game.
Oh yeah, not like the game or the film or anything like that.
So I'm guessing it's probably not Alan Moore and probably the artist.
It's not Alan Moore, it's the artist, yeah.
Which
Dave Gibbons.
Comic books, huh? Yes. That's it. Fucking amazing comic book.
Yeah. Okay, the development team includes the original designer of Beneath Steel Sky, Charles Cecil.
He was also on Watchmen.
He was also on Watchmen?
Yep. I thought they both worked on it. Could be wrong.
Okay, and the artist Dave Gibbons. Yeah. So that's good. That's real good.
No, he did not also work on Watchmen. I am wrong. I just thought he did.
I think they both worked on the original though.
They did both work on the original. I know for sure.
So this was announced as part of the Apple Arcade thing that was going on. I don't know if you guys followed this at all. I don't have much to talk about Apple Arcade. It looks kind of shitty, but some of this stuff was cool. As far as I can tell, Beyond a Steel Sky, it said it's coming to consoles and PC, as well as Apple devices. So there you go. It's being made by Revolution Software, which also made Broken Sword. So if you're an adventure game enthusiast, definitely put this one on your radar.
Adam.
Yes.
What is your favorite Konami game?
Metal Gear Solid 5, I guess.
Okay. What's your second favorite Konami game?
Does PT count?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, PT.
All right. What's your third favorite?
Rory, I gotta be honest. I don't know what you're trying to lead me into here.
I'm nothing. Just humor me. What's your third favorite?
Yeah,
sure. Like Silent Hill.
Castlevania. Say Castlevania.
Rory, you're cutting out for me. I can't. I didn't hear your last.
That wasn't. That was Andrew.
Say
sorry. Oh, I forgot they made Castlevania. Oh, okay. I'm gonna bump PT down, and I'm gonna say Symphony of the Night.
Okay, so here we got. What we got? We got Symphony of the Night, we got PT, and we got Metal Gear Solid 5. So if I was to tell you that there was a Konami collection coming out, those would probably be some of the games you'd want on the collection.
PT is definitely on it.
Are you telling me the Symphony of the Night is not in this collection?
Let me list you the games on the
What's
collection.
it coming to?
Twin B.
What?
Twin B. That's one of them.
What?
Twin B.
Twin B.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but
That's
what
right.
is it? I've never fucking heard of that.
I don't know. I've never heard of it either.
All right, cool.
Here's Ajax.
Okay.
Haunted Castle,
kill-
Nemesis,
to kill,
Vulcan Venture, Life Force, Thundercross, and Scramble. Those are the games in the collection. Anyone ever heard of any of those?
None of the Castlevania games?
These seem like really super Japanese games.
None of the Castlevania games.
What's the second one you said?
I don't even know.
Ajax.
Haunted Castle. Haunted Castle is one of them.
What was the second one you said, Roy?
I don't know. It might have been Ajax. It might have been Haunted Castle.
Oh, right. He's that guy from the Warriors. Right.
Isn't Haunted Castle Castlevania?
No. It's a side-scrolling, platform.
Hold on, Rory. I want you to describe Haunted Castle, and then describe Castlevania.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I guess the description is the same, but as far as I know, they're not the same game. I think they're a different game. I'm looking at the poster for Haunted Castle right now. It looks completely different.
Really?
I mean, it's a tricky kind of poster.
Since when has the poster of something that comes from Japan accurately represented the thing that it is?
Okay, I see a poster for Haunted Castle as well, and it's a girl hiding behind tombstones with a really shitty costumed vampire.
That's the one I see. Yeah.
But there's another one. There's another one.
There you go. There's a poster for Haunted Castle.
It looks like an in-game screenshot, and it's just Simon Cowell with his whip.
I mean, maybe
that looks
it's
like something they pulled out of.
Oi, welcome to
that
X
looks like
Factor.
some
Show me who
shitty
I am.
ad somebody had to put together for like Nintendo Power. Oh my god!
Do they still make
Nintendo
that?
Power? No, they don't.
Good. Once Reggie fucked off.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. It's. Oh my god. Okay, so here's what it is. Oh, so the game is an adaptation of the original Castlevania. Like the original Castlevania, but was not marketed as part of the series outside Japan. That's great. As for the other games on this list, I mean...
What? Why on earth wouldn't
no
you
one's
use
ever
the
heard
brand
any
recognition
of
of Castlevania? It's one of like... It's one of the most well-known and beloved video game franchises.
Because they can bring out Konami Anniversary Collection 2 and include all that good stuff.
So yeah, these are the games that they're having in their thing. The Konami Anniversary
That'd be like
Collection.
if Nintendo came out with like a Nintendo Anniversary Collection and no Mario or Zelda games were on it.
Oh, get this though. Apparently after that, they're going to release a Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
Well, I'll probably just skip the first one then, if I'm honest.
Why? Yeah, why
Don't
in
you
the
already
world
own them
is
all,
it?
though?
No?
Yeah.
The only Castlevania I technically own is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Sometimes you just want to play Twin Bed or whatever the fuck.
Twin B, I think. Yeah, I don't.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what that is.
I'm glad we're not even halfway through this list and we're an hour into the fucking podcast.
Well, I mean, this is a complicated set of
it's
topics.
not.
Anyways, you guys like Divinity?
No.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Actually, maybe.
Yes, damn
Never
right
really
it is.
played it.
And there's gonna be
I'm too busy making my own much better D&D campaign.
I don't like it now, though.
Boo.
You know, Rory, the one that you dropped out of?
There's...
So to derail this entirely, is Divinity 2 the one where you can make your own, like, D&D campaign and, like, DM it as a...
There is an editor mode in Divinity 2.
That's true, actually, yes.
So, like,
yeah.
so 4 people could be playing the campaign and you could be, like, live DMing what happens.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. That's cool.
But that's a separate mode of that game. That is not the
So in the main actual single-player game...
Yeah, it's not the main idea of the game.
In the main single-player game, is it more open than Pillars of Eternity?
I didn't play Pillars of Eternity. I played Divinity Original Sin, though. I can't speak to... I could say the role-playing is of a very high quality. Very high quality.
Like,
it's not as open as you're looking for, Aaron.
Can you... So you can't just make whatever decisions you want?
No.
Like, you can't kill
everybody.
You're
still playing a game. You're still playing...
you're still playing through a story. You just pick, like, you can...
Yeah, but at least in New Vegas, I can kill everybody. If I don't like what someone's doing, I can
but
just
it's
get
not
rid
that
of
kind of game, right? It's like an isometric, like...
Yeah, but you sacrifice the graphics for the story, and the story still sucks.
I don't think they're sacrificing
The story's
anything.
amazing.
I just want to point out...
It may not be...
Stories
don't have to be...
They're just choosing to make an isometric RPG. They're not sacrificing anything.
I'm just saying that Ultima 7, you could kill everybody in that game, except for 2 characters. Everybody...
Yeah, but the graphics are ass.
Yeah, but...
Those are the old balls.
But you could kill everybody. You could do it with a spell.
Yeah, well, it's commended for that. I like the idea that, like, you don't have to give me a story where I can fuck off and derail the entire campaign and do my own thing. But
it's a story. Is there anything wrong with having like a linear story?
No,
like,
there's
it doesn't
nothing.
Market itself
there's nothing wrong with having a
linear
linear story, but let me kill anybody. Like if somebody does something stupid and it completely pulls me out of the character that I was building for myself, which tends to happen in RPGs, in air quotes, then I'd like to just get rid of those characters and kill them out of the game. But half the time you can't do that.
But see, the story would have to adapt to that, so you're no longer playing a linear story.
The outcome is more or less the same. I mean, the outcome in Fallout is pretty much the same. Like, the same set piece happens regardless. It just depends on whose side you're on. Your owner.
Do you kill everyone when you play Life is Strange?
No, but that's not an RPG.
But why does an RPG have to allow you to kill everybody?
Because I'm
so confused.
Because I make my character and I set like what my backstory is, and you develop all the stats and traits and everything, and then they put you in this world. You're like, okay, I'm my character. What do I want my character to be? And then they immediately are like, well, you got to do this. This is how the story goes. You can't kill this person.
You got to play a game. You got to play the game.
Yeah, but let me do whatever I want. Let me kill everybody.
That's not a video game. That's not the video game you're playing.
Well, anyways, the other thing.
Maybe
Aaron, I know
maybe you
Aaron, you may not like this
that.
kind of game. You may not like Pillars of Eternity. You might not like Divinity Original Sin. But another thing you don't like is XCOM. And so the next Divinity game is actually an XCOM-like Divinity game.
Second reason why I don't like it, but anyway. And I multiple reasons why I'm not into XCOM either. Because it's like somebody tried to make chess look like actual combat.
That sounds awesome. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Because there's like no appropriate range for snipers. Like a sniper is like 3 blocks away from the enemy.
Why do you put your sniper so close to the enemy?
Because that's how small the maps are, and for some reason all the vehicles are fucking massive. And then when you finally get to use jets to do airstrikes, it's just a JPEG on the screen, and it says, "Oh, you missed." It's like it's not.
Play the original XCOM?
No. If it had real shit graphics, then it would be appropriate.
That game is hard.
If it's a isometric game that's not 3D and it's kind of pixel art, then sure, whatever, it gets a pass. But when you make it like uber realistic 3D, you can swing the camera around all over the place and zoom in on buddies' pimples. Like fucking, don't make it.
Yeah,
chess.
but XCOM is not realistic.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
But the fun, you have to realize the game of XCOM is in the like strategy, right?
I totally get that, and it's a cool strategy game. There's a disconnect for me in, I don't know. It's a strange approach.
I don't think XCOM will ever be your thing. Like truthfully, like I think, it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not the kind of game I would.
I like the maybe like I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's a cool game. It's just not my deal.
You're definitely not gonna like this game.
Also, because they stole the title of a game I made like 15 years ago. But anyway, that's fine.
What, XCOM?
Oh, Fallen Heroes. Remember that Flash World War II game I made?
Oh, yeah. We're talking... Yeah, that's Divinity, though. The new Divinity game is called Fallen Heroes.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but we were talking about XCOM.
Yeah, but you brought it up because the Divinity thing is called Fallen Heroes. And that's already a thing I made.
Aaron's saying they stole his name.
So I
I'm just clarifying
to see you in court on Monday morning.
About Divinity.
Actually, this morning. What?
So yeah.
Okay. Division gets flack for having bullet spongy enemies, but holy sweet mother of fuck, I've been like shooting at one guy for the entire fucking video. Jesus Christ, this game is awful.
Yeah, looter shooters are kind of bullshit.
This game is worse though. There's like you could have all the enemies that I've ever killed in Division have less health combined than one enemy in this game. Oh my.
So Jesus. Andrew, you're gonna pick up this game too, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I still need to play the second Divinity. Actually, that game is probably really good as well. So I'll probably pick up both of them around the same time. Divinity will probably be available on GOG, and another thing that's available on GOG.
You can buy it wherever you want, but you can't fucking do it wherever you want.
Is the first 2 Warcraft games.
Whoa!
And this is really, really, really cool. Warcraft is cool.
It is. Isn't that right, Adam?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Is that an
Adam loves
RTS?
Warcraft.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about the original Warcraft, are we?
Go ahead, Aaron. Shit all over RTSs.
No, I was gonna say RTSs are better than turn-based nonsense.
I played the original Warcraft, or sorry, Warcraft 2. That was Orcs and Knights, wasn't it? Was that the first or second one?
the first one is Orcs and Humans.
That's the one I played.
The second one is...
And I played it. I never owned it. I played it on my cousin's computer, and I don't have very many memories of it because I remember when StarCraft came out. My cousin moved to StarCraft, and I was a bit older by that point. And a lot of my early RTS memories are me failing to play StarCraft. So
StarCraft is so good.
So I don't really know a lot about the first Warcraft game. And so I find it very it's I might pick this up. I don't know if I will. Probably not because I got other shit to play. But it's certainly kind of like a historically significant game, and I'm glad to see that they're coming out.
Me too. I'm excited. I always like old games because they have really small file sizes. And it's like, you never have to worry about, oh, I got to set aside space for this. It's like, it's less than a gig. Like, you're fine.
That's what's nice about playing a lot of, like, indie games. Because if you play, like...
What'd you say? Oh, yeah,
because
indie
you're like,
games,
oh, man, I can't wait to play
small.
Hollow Knight and Hyper Light Drifter and Shovel Knight, and then you download them all. I was like, that was like 500 megs. Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't play a lot of those games, but I watch some of them on stream, and they look like Hollow Knight in particular looks.
It's
like
really good.
It's a fair bit of
you
fun.
actually would probably like Hollow Knight if you like. Do you like Castlevania?
That's all right.
You might not like Hollow Knight.
I was never super into Castlevania. I think I liked the idea of Castlevania a lot more than I actually ever liked playing it. But like the style and all that is real cool. So that's cool to see that out. Speaking of games that have Knight in the title, Shovel Knight is a game, and Cyber Shadow is a new game by the same guy.
I don't understand why you had that really awkward segue. I mentioned Shovel Knight in the examples I gave.
You did? Oh,
Shovel Knight. Speaking of games with knights in the title, Shovel Knight, which is a game he mentioned.
Yes. So yeah, now we have Cyber
Shadow.
Shadow.
was the person who showed me the trailer for this. So if you don't know what Shovel Knight is, it's made by Yacht Games. Really, really amazing game. It's I would say it's a Mega Man love letter, not a clone so much as a love letter, because I think it's a lot better than the original Mega Man. But that's kind of like 30 years of hindsight and development for you. It's really, really good. Very tight controls, hard as balls, and exceedingly frustrating. But in that old school kind of way, and it's not as unfair as some of the original Mega Man games were. And it has it's a simplistic but fairly decent story with actually pretty decent characters. There's a bit near the end that really helps the characterization of Shovel Knight. I haven't played any of the expansions, so I haven't played King Knight, Plague Knight, Spectral Knight yet. So I don't know what.
So I guess Shovel Knight is to Mega Man what Cyber Shadow seems to be to Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that this game appears to be a Ninja Gaiden love letter. Ninja
Gaiden is cool.
I have no experience with the original Ninja Gaiden, except the only experience I have with it is watching James Rolfe play it on the Angry Video Game Nerd, and it looks hard as shit, like unfairly hard. So I'm looking to see what they'll be able to do. Because Yacht Games knows game design, or at least I feel like, because Shovel Knight was so successful. So I'm wondering how they'll be able to improve upon the original Ninja Gaiden formula and make it, like, actually playable.
Ninja Gaiden's cool.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying the first game is brokenly hard.
It is
because of
respawning
hard. Enemies and not back in perilous, like, insta-death pits. So you would kill an enemy, move forward, the same enemy would respawn, knock into you, you would fly back into the pit and die. And you have something like 3 lives or something ridiculous.
You can play Ninja Gaiden if you are so inclined to give it a go.
Speaking of games with a Gaiden in the name.
Uh-huh.
Fucking shout out to the joke. The funny situation like 2 minutes ago.
You guys like Fallout 76?
No.
Right.
Gunplay's alright.
Gunplay's alright. The most positive thing we've said about Fallout 76 on this program, I think.
He likes it. He plays all the time.
Not nearly as good as Fallout 4's, though. The game that came before it.
It's essentially the same thing.
It is, but
I would
with
argue
the
it's
server
better
lag,
now.
Nothing works as well as it should.
Well, when you get server lag, I would say it's better now because the lever action rifle actually fucking works.
You guys like the Fallout 76 survival mode?
No.
Nope, haven't bothered with it.
All right. Apparently it's shit, according to Andrew. Andrew, what don't you like about it?
/Randy.
Well, it's just a giant death match, essentially. So survival mode, they've turned off that passive, quote-unquote, glove slap or whatever the fuck they were doing with normal
glove slap.
Consensual murder.
Yeah, they got rid of that, so now it's open season. So you see a guy, you can blow him apart if you want to. So basically what that means is that you get groups of guys camping at fast travel points. Because there are set fast travel points. So as soon as you spawn, you die and lose all your stuff.
That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of see what you're saying, Andrew.
Yep.
You know, that's... I guess you could call that not a great feature, if you wanted to. But, you know, I don't really think... I don't think you're giving it a fair chance.
Not great.
And,
don't play it none of the time.
Hang on a moment.
Oh man, this segue is going great, right?
I used to have it bookmarked and I don't anymore. I was gonna share that lovely quote for the Fallout 76 subreddit that I always remember, which is that Fallout 76 is the best parts of all the Fallout games combined.
Oh Jesus!
It's like, yeah, it's somebody who's like, you know, I know people don't like this as much as New Vegas because it doesn't have, you know, memorable characters. But I think in a lot of ways, Fallout 76 is the best parts of all Fallout.
Yeah.
And I bookmarked it because
not the
it
memorable
was
characters though.
It was just, not the memorable characters. Yeah, who cares about those, right? I bookmarked it just because it was so bizarre that a human being unironically wrote that, and then like 36 other real-life human beings upvoted it. Like people were like, yeah, totally, like screw the haters.
Oh, man, don't shame them. Blind people can use the internet too.
I will say that the world, the Appalachia world space that they've created is actually really nice looking.
Well, I mean, I think, honestly, truthfully, the best Fallout game for atmosphere is Fallout 4. Like, I will say positive things about the newer Fallout games.
Yeah.
Like, I might have just said them, but they're there. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. Speaking of Bethesda games, you guys like Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Adam, how do you feel about Wolfenstein?
Which one? Or just in general?
In general.
I like the new ones. I don't really have much experience with the older ones.
Older ones are good.
They are.
There's a sequel to the second one, and a prequel to the third one called Youngblood.
Was it like a full game?
Yes.
DLC?
This is the one where you play as on.
It's not a prequel though.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Is this the one where you play as?
Yes, it is. A prequel to Wolfenstein 3, right from the wiki.
But it's not unless the third game takes place after this.
I guess the third game takes place after this.
That's so stupid.
Because if I remember correctly, this is the one where you play as.
That gets me mad.
You play as Anya and Blazkovich's daughters in Paris, don't you? Is this the one I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that could work, where a sequel to where the third game would take place after this. That could actually work.
But BJ's like 80 years old at this point.
Is he?
Yes.
No. The second game takes place in the 60s. This game takes place in the 80s, isn't it?
Yeah.
This game does take place in the 80s. That's right.
I'm guessing that in the 60s.
He's like 50 in the 60s.
I thought he was more.
He's like he's 70 pushing 80 in this.
I thought it was more like, you know, he was in his 40s. So by the time the 80s rolls around, he's in his 60s.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't think so.
All right, I gotta look.
I think he's older than you'd think.
So much for me reading about fucking Greek mythology.
Let's play Assassin's
Why would
Creed.
you read about that during a podcast?
What are you talking about?
Let me just play Odyssey.
Can I say
so
my
I'll
thing?
give you. I can settle this. His date of birth is 1911.
1911.
Okay,
Yeah.
So how old is he when this game takes place?
Well, he would be 70-something.
It's 69. 69.
It's 60.
Okay.
To be fair to Blazkowicz, he's now, and minor spoilers for this game. He's in a super duper Nazi body.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Adam's already spoiled for me 18 times.
Well, fucking play the game.
I'll play it when I want to play it.
All right, well then.
Adam did that on like day 2 for the record.
Yeah. Anyway, he's in this super duper Nazi body now, so it could stand to reason that he could like not be super aged.
Yeah, true enough.
So I think
Anya looks fine in the trailer.
I gotta be honest. If any fucking video game series is gonna have characters have wonky ages, I think it's fine in a game where the main character literally had his head cut off and then reattached to another body.
It was a great scene.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that like
so
take that into
when it happens for me for the first time.
Take that into consideration when you're talking about the realism of this game. Like take the fact that that's a thing that can happen in this world, and then extrapolate that and change your view on the setting.
When I play
you should spoil Red Dead.
I could.
I don't give a flying fuck about Red Dead. Fucking dog shit game.
I'm gonna wait until I get a real heavy bullet I can throw.
Do you not like Red Dead Redemption 2?
Not really.
Wow.
Adam's just a terrible human anyway.
Shout out to Adam. Adam's a brave man. I don't care what y'all say.
You don't have to like the gameplay, but that story, man.
I suppose I did really.
Adam's just pulling a Jordan where he just adversely he's adverse to Red Dead because it's not so that popular.
I just can't. I'm not saying it's not a good game. I think it sounds from everybody's descriptions and stuff. Not that I've seen any spoilers or anything, but from people talking about the game, it seems like a lot of people enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, that's your thing. And I can certainly see that it deserves all the praise that it gets because of the attention to detail. I just don't fucking care for it because I'm not into games that are simulators. I have never really liked games that are simulators. That's why I'm not a huge fan of Arma. It's why I don't really like Kingdom Come Deliverance and how that game looks.
I wouldn't call it a simulator,
but it has simulatory elements to it, where the first game was more of just an action game.
Yeah, but you don't all the simulation elements of Red Dead are to, I would say, further the immersion. You don't really have to do any of them.
Yeah, and I don't care
about
that.
All the simulation elements of every simulation game are to further the immersion.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like the fact that...
If it's like a survival game, Roy, like the reason the game exists is because of those simulatory elements. Like if you don't do them, then you die or you fail or something.
But what I'm
in
saying,
Red Dead, they're like really secondary to the narrative. You don't have to do any of them.
No, you don't. But at the same time, it's not just the simulatory elements. It's how it goes into the presentation and the feel of the overall world. I remember I couldn't figure out how to fucking clean my character. I finally figured out that if you just ride through a river, your character gets clean, which, fair enough, that makes sense. And then my character entered the next cutscene, and he got shoved out of a bar and into the mud, and got all muddy again. I'm like, now I gotta go find another fucking river. My character's gonna look like fucking shit for the rest of this. And I get that some people like that. I really do. And if that's your thing, fine enough. But I just don't like it. It takes me right out of the experience because I'm instead of being like, oh man, look at that cool immersion, the dirt's still there. I'm like, fucking damn it, the dirt's still there. Now I look like shit, and I gotta go wash that off. Fucking goddamn it. I hate how long everything in that fucking game takes. If you're picking up something off the ground, if you're putting something down on the ground, if you're reloading your gun, if you're cooking something, everything takes so much fucking time. And again, if that's your thing and it helps your immersion, perfect, that's awesome, good for you. I fucking hate it. It took me right out of the game, so it doesn't matter how good the story is. If I gotta bludgeon my head against the game and the gameplay and the immersion to get in at the story, it's not worth my time, and I'm not gonna do that for a fucking 60-hour game. I'm gonna go ahead and buy Ace Combat and play that instead.
Speaking of bludgeoning one's head, I think someone may have bludgeoned Andrew's head when he wrote this fucking atrocity of a sentence in the next topic.
No, we're not done with Wolfenstein yet. I didn't get to say my thing.
I'm so glad we're not.
We skipped over that.
Far away. What's your thing? Yeah.
Okay, so this is stupid.
All right. So he said his thing.
What do you mean?
Okay. So the first game, Wolfenstein, the New Order.
New Order. Great game.
That came out, set in Europe, fight Nazis.
One of my favorite games of this generation.
Fantastic game. Next game, Wolfenstein, New Colossus, set in America, fight Nazis. Not as good. A lot of really shitty political stuff going on. That's fine. Still really cool moments. Still really fun game. Great. Next game, it ends in a really awesome scene, and it gets you fucking pumped to keep fighting the Nazis. Like, yeah, we're gonna take back America. Yeah. And then the next game comes out, and it's set 19 years later. You're playing as your two daughters fighting Nazis. BJ's still alive. Anya's still alive. The worst character in the entire franchise is still alive. Grace. They're all still alive.
I didn't mind Grace.
20 years later. Still fighting Nazis.
Andrew, I gotta be honest, in a world where Nazis have taken over the planet, there's gonna be a lot of Nazis to kill. You're not just gonna be able to knock them all
I understand.
off in a couple
Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But what does this tell us about the trilogy of games that we've been invested in up to this point?
It doesn't tell you anything, because the trilogy isn't... The third game is coming out after this one.
So are we playing a 70-year-old BJ in the next one? After the conclusion of the second game, which sets up the final battle to take back America.
Regardless, but that's nothing to do with this game, right? Like, the fact that they chose
has everything to do with this game, in my opinion.
The fact that they chose to make this... to place it after this game isn't this game's fault. It's Wolfenstein 3's fault. No?
I mean, maybe.
No, it's whoever decided that we need to stop this trilogy dead in its tracks and bring in some playable female protagonists.
Well, what I'm saying is, if this game... Okay, so let's say... So we have the first two games, right? And then we have this game, this, like, side adventure thing. And then we have the third game takes place right after the second game. That would be good, would it not?
No, because we know that we don't defeat the Nazis. Nobody dies. Everybody's happy at the end of that third game.
You're saying it throws off the narrative flow.
Yeah,
of the
trilogy. I'm not saying anything about gameplay. I'm
I will
fully
say
aware
that,
that you're not going to defeat all of Nazi in the world, all of the Nazi ideals on the entire planet. I'm aware of that. But what it does say is that there are almost no hardships in that third game if everybody is still alive 20 years later and they're still doing the same thing they were 20 years before.
I will say that kind of... The note about the fact that it is female protagonist seems arbitrary to me.
Yeah, why didn't they just make Anya a stronger character when they rebooted it?
It is until you look at all the political messaging that was in the second one. It feels
and
very
I didn't play the second one.
heavy-handed.
So I'm not qualified to talk about the politics of the...
I just want to say I'm not opposed to the female protagonist, but it seems like the writer is very like...
I get what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. He seems very pushing in that direction as far as he can possibly go, and I feel like there was a push to get this side story out that takes place later so he can get those female protagonists in. It feels like there was a push to get this one out before the next actual game. And I feel like the series is going to suffer because of it.
I will say, on another note, I'm excited to play a Wolfenstein game that's in the 80s.
Yeah, there was a good Carpenter brought song in the trailer. You should check it out.
I will. I think that'll be an interesting setting.
It an original song?
No, it was what's Killer, I guess the most famous Carpenter brought song.
Turbo Killer?
Yeah, it was Turbo Killer.
Yeah, I said Roller Mouse.
Oh,
that's
the other one.
So, yeah, Wolfenstein. Andrew's not thrilled, but
all the dialogue in the trailer is really awful.
As BJ again.
Yeah,
I have a minigun on my walker.
To be fair, this is the same game series where BJ Blazkowicz spent like 20 years in a fucking mental asylum, not moving, and then immediately, when Nazis attacked, through the pure power of his own rage and hatred for Nazis, stood up out of a chair that he hasn't stood up from in 20 years and went on to butcher like 100 Nazis.
Can you imagine the
that's
smell?
Really cool. It's really cool because BJ... I like playing as BJ because he's so fucking angry at Nazis.
Wouldn't it be cool though if in the third game you're playing as a super old BJ and everyone else is like, BJ, you gotta pass this on to the next generation. Let them take care of it.
No, because I want to know what happened after the second game. But I already know that now because they're releasing a game that takes place 20 years later.
You know what happened? The Vietnam War. That's what happened.
No, it doesn't happen because this is alternate history with Nazis, and I want to know how they take back America.
Are you telling me?
But I guess everything goes swimmingly because the next
Vietnam
game is 20 years later and everyone's perfectly fine. It's stupid. They could have done this way better.
What if there's a bunch of flashback stuff?
Than any Red Dead Redemption story could have been.
I disagree. Yeah, you're wrong, and you should feel bad.
That's not even
Adam.
Yep.
You like dinosaurs?
Fucking Aaron's gonna quit this podcast. Yep, I do.
Like,
I love dinosaurs. They're like my favorite thing.
This game is
Do you
awful.
like mediocre games about dinosaurs that were designed to, I guess, be on YouTube videos and such things?
This sounds like a leading question.
When does that ever happen on a podcast?
No.
Totally unbiased. This is the no spin zone, Adam.
Okay.
So Ark Survival Evolved, a YouTuber who makes Ark Survival Evolved content, was globally banned because they pointed out exploits, and then there's no punctuation whatsoever, and something about Star Citizen. And then gets banned.
Okay, that was because that happened because I was editing this list and somebody else edited the cell I was in.
So you didn't go back and change
that? Everything got combined. This is 2 topics. So I will take care of this. So first one, Ark Survival Evolved YouTuber protests exploits. So
hey Adam, just for you because you don't have access to the Asana list. There's the picture of
protest exploits by showing you how to use them.
Yeah, so so Ark Survival Evolved. There have been exploits. A YouTuber put up a video showing off these exploits and trying to get some movement from the developers, like, hey, you should fix this because this is awful. Then the developers banned him.
Sweet. I mean, okay, so like globally, this is not an uncommon thing for somebody to get banned for showing exploits in a game. This happens a lot, particularly with online games and like games with
because
services.
To show them, you have to do them.
Yeah, but obviously people don't want for an online game they don't want you exploiting it. So that's not just Ark. That's across the board with lots of games. I like the idea, and this has happened in other games, where people will highlight an exploit in a game because they play the game a lot and they enjoy the game and they're sick and tired of people cheating at it in a specific way. Because that's
exactly why this person
because there's been an exploit in it for God knows how long and the devs have done nothing about it. So I like what they're doing here. I think it's fucking stupid that the devs banned them, and maybe it was just by mistake. Like they just saw his content and went, ban this guy. I never actually looked at it, but
I think they realized that their game was poorly optimized.
Yeah, maybe.
And they were like, oh,
I mean,
no.
I do
we
like
could
the
fix
idea,
it, or we could ban him.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of Ark Survival Evolved as like the video game concept because it's really cool, but I think the execution has been less than 100% effective.
Yes.
Well, they already got another game now.
Not the same developers. That's by a separate development studio from people who worked on Ark, but then left to form this new studio.
Isn't it called like? What's the new game? The ship one? What's that called?
It's called Atlas, I believe.
Oh, Atlas, right? Okay, I thought it was the same people.
No, because it does say from the makers of Ark Survival Evolved, but they're not from the. It's like certain people who worked on it. It's not the actual company, which is kind of misleading.
Well,
that is incredibly misleading. I'm amazed that they got away with that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's dumb. Star Citizen does something.
Andrew, do you want to tell us about Star Citizen?
Because we already talked about it.
Yeah, female characters are coming to Star Citizen.
Oh my goodness.
Good.
About time.
Yes.
I hope we can't play as males anymore, but only because they're really old now, and is in the 80s.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron.
Yeah. It's good though. It's been a long time coming. It's not like a major update or anything, but I guess it is for any female players and they want to play as females.
Will they have turbo face tracking as well?
I would imagine it'd be the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Do you guys like the Yakuza games?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Never really played one.
Mixed reviews. Well, you know about Judgment.
Yeah.
Which
I know.
is
I know
like
that
the Yakuza
one
games.
of the main actors got arrested in Japan for having a load of drugs.
Yeah, that's right. And there was suspicion that it might actually affect the release of the game because that's kind of the way stuff is run there.
Yeah.
Very
in
different
America,
from
if you're found with like a 40 bricks of like a wall of cocaine in your house, you get like a slap on the wrist and you're kind of made even more famous. But if that happens
tomorrow, Mr. Bank Director.
Yeah, if that happens in Japan, you're pretty much blacklisted from everything. You may as well
kind of as it should be, though.
point.
Really,
it's almost like Japan is a country with class that values respect.
Well, okay. Oh, hang on now. We're talking about the same country that sells used panties and vending machines. It's
That's
classy
right.
about some stuff.
Well, hang
Classy
on.
about some stuff.
It's only the
You can't spell class without ass, Adam.
Yeah,
it's only the illegal things in America that you can get away with. It's all the things where you say something out of your own mind, using free speech, and then you get fucking stripped of all the work that you've done, and you're fucking forgotten the time because you had an opinion about something that was a bit racy. Anyway.
Well, luckily the actor's alleged cocaine use, which, as I understand the criminal justice system in Japan, alleged is guilty because in Japan they have a lot of faith in the police, in the criminal justice
That's
system,
a bad idea.
which may seem strange if you're American and your cops suck. But
well, especially when in Japan, if you're going over a certain speed, cops won't chase you apparently because it's too dangerous. So just drive super fast all the time, and you can go. Nobody cares.
Well, I mean, they'll still find your license number based on the millions of cameras they've got everywhere.
Not if I put something over it.
Then you'll just be arrested for having your license plate.
Not if they can't find me.
not if you're driving fast. No,
it's the
it's a real
ultimate.
chicken and
It's
egg
the ultimate
situation.
exploit. We're gonna get banned from YouTube by the government.
Oh, man. Not the Japan devs.
Judgment is going to be released on time, so there's nothing to worry about. I believe this game actually you can select the Japanese audio or the English audio, which is something way more Japanese games that come to America need. That's something I've been begging for in Metal Gear Solid for years.
Yeah.
Why? Because you want to be a
Rory's
weeb
the
or
ultimate
whatever?
weeb. He wants fucking subs, not dubs, in Metal Gear.
Well, honestly, I prefer the Japanese voice acting in Metal Gear. I know that's like a low-tier, unpopular opinion, but I
respect you for it, Rory, but I don't agree with you.
I think a lot of Metal Gear fans find themselves in that boat, Andrew.
What did they get to do Japanese Yogurt Sutherland?
It's the same voice actor.
Yeah, they didn't change up the voice actor for MGS5 in the Japanese.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean it's the same guy? Oh, I didn't mean
The same
Kiefer
guy's been doing it
Sutherland
for
did
the entire
Japanese
time.
voice also.
No, it's like
Daddy.
no. It's the same voice actor since the beginning, and that's really cool. And I will say, I think the American voice acting is as good as it gets. Like, I think it's like top tier. It's just for me, like my nostalgia, it's like David Hayter's not Snake to me in my mind, to my child mind.
Really?
Right?
You played the first MGS Japanese?
My very first game I ever played on PlayStation was the Japanese demo for Metal Gear Solid,
Like
Wow.
Rory's a
and I
friggin'
played
OG
it
weeb.
over. I played it over and over and
He's
over
an old
again
taku.
as a kid, and an old
did
taku.
you-
That's pretty good.
Got our own BJ
and-
over here.
And so to me, like, it was like that's how I picture Snake's voice, and I love David Hayter.
Steak?
And there's lots of other. No, Snake is a character in Metal Gear Solid.
Solid steak.
It sounded like you said steak.
What's better, a solid steak or a liquid steak?
Somewhere in between.
You know, there's lots of great voice acting. Jennifer Hale is Naomi Hunter. Naomi Hunter is one of my favorite characters in games.
Do you like the accent or without the accent? She loses it halfway through the series.
I kind of prefer the old way, to be honest.
Me too. I'm with you.
Although, like, the new stuff is cool, too.
Is it because
it's all cool.
old Jen Hill kind of fucked off? Doesn't care about doing anything?
No, it's because when they released the Twin Snakes, for some reason, the voice director didn't want any accents. So they got rid of Mei Ling's accent, and they got rid of Naomi Hunter's accent.
What was her accent?
So Mei Ling was Chinese, and Naomi Hunter was English.
Yeah. What do you got, the Metal Gear over there, what?
And it's Jen Hale who does Naomi?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, cool.
You got that
great character.
The Robo-clad over there, buddy. Watch out for that one.
Like, Andrew, about 2 years ago, actually, or whenever the Last Jedi came out, Andrew asked us
1978
to list our favorite characters, like in anything, right? And,
it was Holdo, yeah.
Holdo and Rose I shipped at.
I almost like I wanted to put a Metal Gear Solid character on there, and I didn't get a chance to. But any of that main cast of Metal Gear Solid.
Did I hear somebody typing on a keyboard?
Contenders. Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping it was somebody looking up Rose Holdo Rule 34.
No. I was actually trying to find. So my favorite. For the record, just my favorite characters were Cordelia Chase for the Buffyverse, Hilo from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, just straight
just
raw characters. I gotcha.
Yeah, and I think Andrews was Han Solo, and Adams was like Data, or Adams wasn't Data, and then I reminded Adam about Data.
Following the Solo movie, Andrew, is it still Solo? God damn it, this fucking game.
I mean, yes, but I don't count that movie.
So you don't like it?
I like the movie, but that's not Han Solo.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Anyway.
I'm not a big fan of Solo, the film.
It was okay. There were major problems, but
it's my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah?
I don't know about that.
I think that's an unpopular opinion.
But episode 2 exists, Rory.
I don't agree with you, Rory, but I do respect your opinion.
Thank you.
But Adam says something bad about Red Dead 2, and everyone jump on him.
I mean, I respect that you don't enjoy the gameplay of Red Dead, Adam, but I think you are doing yourself a disservice by not trying to stick with it.
Fair enough.
I think Red Dead's a better story than Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Nah.
But see, you don't know that, Adam.
I'm pretty sure I know that.
BJ, that you?
Do you guys like Stalker?
It's okay, yeah. It's right.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
It was impossible, but anyway.
You gotta get good at Aaron.
Yeah.
I was so used to be rating Adam that I just went with the Adam, but sorry about that.
If you like Stalker, you might like Stalker 2, which is happening.
Again.
Wasn't that a thing?
Yeah, a while ago.
I thought but
then it stopped.
So this isn't really the second Stalker game, does it?
Well, it's not the second Stalker game, but the game is called
Stalker 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So was Clear Sky, is that what it was called? Was that not a sequel to the first game?
Yeah, it was Call of Pripyat, then Clear Sky.
That's the first one, yeah.
Right. Call of Pripyat was the first one?
I think so. That's the first one.
It was Call of Chernobyl, Call of Pripyat, Clear Sky.
Oh, yeah. No,
there might have been another one.
It's Shadow of Chernobyl.
Shadow of Chernobyl, right.
Yeah.
Call of Chernobyl, I think, is a fan-made mod that combines all the games.
The guys who made Metro came from the same team who made Stalker, right? Like they left that studio and went to found
No idea.
Deep Silver?
Maybe?
Anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know.
Because they're both Ukrainian, if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean, I know the guys who make Stalker are Ukrainian.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
But yeah, so it's cool. This like Stalker games they have a real cult following. Do you guys like Peaky Blinders, the show with Cillian Murphy?
Love it.
Never seen
Fantastic show.
Well, Andrew, then you might be excited. You ever seen it, Adam?
Nope.
You might be excited, Andrew, to find out that there's a video game coming out.
Oh no!
Wow. That's weird.
I'm never excited about like movie and television franchises that I like being turned into video games.
Well, to be honest, one being turned into the other, in under any pretense.
Oh right, yeah.
Have there been any games based on TV shows? The Sopranos, I can think.
Well, yeah. There's been like really
games.
like
okay,
sort of obvious
ignoring
ones.
the animated
Game
series.
of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Okay, true.
That's got 2
Right.
games. One of them's apparently not bad.
3 games.
Do you count Stick of Truth?
3 games? Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, there's an RTS.
Yeah, do you count the
Telltale,
South Park
and RPG.
games?
Yeah, I was forgetting about the Telltale.
I mean, there's Star Trek games as well, right?
Okay, fair
The,
enough. Fair enough. I was wrong. Anyway, this is weird.
Idiot.
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, this is weird.
I'm
This is
not
a weird
convinced this is
choice
gonna be
for-
good or bad, but I am excited to play in like 1920s London area. That seems cool.
That's a cool setting.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
If they can get the
that's
same
exciting.
level of, I guess, detail in the world as something like Assassin's Creed or
I was just about to say that.
you know something like that, that'd be cool.
Actually,
I'd
don't
be down
even
for
make that. Just make the World War One Assassin's Creed game there that Chad had said you could. Just do that. That'd be great.
Sure. Anyway, this seems. I hope they don't just make it based on the show. Like if they're gonna do this, they should explore the world.
Oh,
do side story stuff.
Duck
of the
Dynasties.
world. Oh yeah, Duck Dynasty.
Let's get that
great
game.
TV show game.
At Silliest Murphy or whatever.
Isn't that the
we
game
call
where
them.
you murder like a legion of beavers for no reason?
Yes.
Yeah, why not run them over,
Okay.
fuck them up?
Now, I don't know if you remember, but we did a 2018 in a review show, and on that show we talked about our favorite games from 2018. And Andrew,
I know that I
royally-
said Kingdom Come Deliverance right off the bat. 'Cause I
Yeah, that's right. He
remembered it.
definitly didn't forget that it came out in 2018, and
Yeah,
then Aaron
that's
had to
right.
remind him, and it was super embarrassing.
Yeah.
And so, can I
Google lied
briefly,
to him or
before
whatever.
Andrew, you get into this? Kingdom Come Deliverance is on my list of games to buy. I put it on my my GOG wish list.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy it, and I'm so excited to play it because I don't know. I don't like to go into games too hopeful, but I think I'm gonna really love that game.
I'll tell you now, Rory, you're either gonna really love it or you're gonna fucking hate it. You're gonna hate every second of it. But I think you'll like it. I think you'll at least appreciate what it's doing. Unlike Adam over there.
So I mean, I obviously don't like the. It's the first game, right, of its sort, right?
Yeah.
What I can tell you that I really like is I really like things that have detailed role playing, and I really like The Witcher.
Well,
Yeah.
I know it's not really like The Witcher.
I
Well,
wouldn't call
it's-
it role playing. It's like if Arma took place in a fictional sort of timeline, sort of historical fantasy.
Is it anything like? Will I be able to scratch the itch that I haven't been able to scratch since the first Witcher game?
Yes.
Good. Okay. That's kind of
why
what
the
I'm
first
looking for.
Witcher game?
I
Isn't that
think the
game
others are
awful?
good.
Oh, okay.
but the first Witcher has something that maybe no other game I've ever played has.
Yeah, the worst combat imaginable.
The combat is good.
DDR combat.
It's- Andrew, help.
It is good.
It is
No,
good.
no.
It's different.
Different because it's bad. It's not different because it's good.
No, just because it's weird to you at first, it isn't instantly recognizable to you doesn't make it bad.
But stance combat is such a cool idea.
But it's not stance combat. It's click the button in time. It's got nothing to do with actually hitting a buddy. I don't know what stance combat means then. It's just click the button in time. Click it as it gets faster, and you do more damage somehow. Don't actually counterattack the dude's sword swings.
So I'm excited for this game, Andrew. It's getting a it's getting a Royal Edition.
Combat's a lot better in KCD than it is in Witcher, I'll tell you that.
This will include all DLC. So the last piece of DLC, A Woman's Lot, it should be coming out this month, or I guess April.
Yeah, coming out on all platforms.
Yep. So this will be fully up to date, all the DLC. So you'll be able to buy it all at once for a reasonable price. Yeah, and they're also after the last piece of DLC, they are bringing out full mod support. So
that's cool, man.
I hope you want to play the game for years after the fact.
When I get the game, one of the first things I'm actually getting is the saving mod.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Get the saving mod and get the bow reticle mod.
Okay. Yeah. I'm excited to play it, and well, I guess now I'll just get the Royal Edition probably when it comes out. To be honest.
Yeah, that's the smart move right now. And
it'll be on GOG, I assume, because the actual game is on GOG.
Yep.
Is there a mod to let you do what you want?
Is there a mod that makes it Fallout New Vegas?
I wanted to rob a sword from a blacksmith.
I don't understand, because even in Fallout New Vegas, you can't just do what you want.
You can.
You can't. You gotta follow. You've got to follow some semblance of the narrative in Fallout New Vegas, or else it all goes to hell.
But I can. At least I can. At the end of the day, I can kill somebody, and it just says quest failed. And it doesn't say mission failed. You got to redo the game.
You can do some of that in Kingdom Come.
Not really though. There's some there are different areas of the game where you can choose stuff, but as soon as you go off the rails, it immediately becomes just a regular action adventure game in an open world setting. It's like, oh, you want to rob a store to have a better sword that's not turbo shit because you're at the beginning of the game and you got to work through the progression like every other game. Well, yeah, you can go into the store at night. It's possible. There's all these swords that you can take. It's possible. But then you get in there in the middle of the night and you can't do it. It's just like our game's like, well, you somehow managed to get this far. Sorry, you got to turn around and go out. You can't actually do that in this game.
So all the shopkeepers keep their stuff in a locked chest.
Yeah, but the process to actually doing that is impossible to not get caught.
Well, it is possible, but it's really, really challenging.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like it being challenging to do hard things?
It's not like... it's just...
Oh, man, Aaron's going to have a problem with masturbating.
It's very clearly put behind a bunch of, walls because the game doesn't want you to play it that way. Robbing a store in Oblivion or Skyrim or something wasn't really a particularly hard task. You had to get your, maybe your sneak skill up to a certain level so you could rob the key from the owner, and then you could go in at night and take whatever you wanted.
Right. So in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you get your sneak skill up really high. You get good at lockpicking.
Except you can't really do that because half the stores you go to have a guard and a dog sitting on the step, and the only way to get them to move is to kill them.
But why is it bad that the stores are guarded?
Because I want to rob shit.
But it makes sense for them to be guarded.
They know that,
because,
no?
Yeah.
Do you go to the bank?
But it's a game.
And you're like, why they got all these people here? I just want to come in and take all the money.
I think I know what Aaron's was talking about. So, Yahtzee had a review. Yahtzee Khrushchev, Zero Punctuation, had a review recently for Left Alive, the not Metal Gear Solid game that came out and everyone hates.
Yep.
And he said, here's what happens when you try to stealth in this game. You go up to a wall, you hide behind it, you stick your head out to see where the guards are. The guards see your head sticking out, and they immediately shoot you. And I know that's how that would work in the real life, but in games I kind of got used to a whole gentlemanly affair about the whole thing, where I would stick my head out and the guards would pretend not to see it to give me a fair chance.
In a stealth game, it's very important that there's a leeway there on that. I agree 100%.
It's very based on your skill. In Kingdom Come Deliverance, a lot of it is very sim-like, but it's equally as much an RPG. So you got to get your skills up as well.
But also, Kingdom Come Deliverance is not a stealth game.
No.
See,
no, but the stealth does work well if you get good at it.
In the same way that you guys, or Andrew specifically, dislikes Division for looking realistic but being cartoony, I kind of dislike a simulator game that relies on stats to control what happens and what doesn't happen. Because I feel like...
Isn't that interesting, though?
Because...
Like, isn't that interesting that you feel that way about some games and not others, and likewise Andrew feels that way about some games and not others?
I guess my rationale of it is that, like, in a game, the aesthetic of the game doesn't necessarily impact the gameplay for me. The gameplay is paramount. So, like, if I'm playing Division, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I mean, I like that it looks realistic, but it could look like Borderlands. I like the gameplay. In a game like Kingdom Come that presents itself as a kind of a simulator, having all these dice roll RPG elements to it really pull me out. Because, like, I can walk up to a bunch of people I know I wasn't seen or heard, and I'm being very quiet. I have, you know, I don't have any, like, big metal things on making a racket, but they heard me because your skill is low and there was a failed dice roll in there somewhere. So it's like, that. I'm not really playing the game. The game is kind of just, oh, this is what happened. You're fucked up. It's kind of like D&D, you know, except you're actually in the driver's seat doing everything, but some guy next to you is saying, this is what happened. Like, all right.
But that's my job.
Yeah, Adam, fuck off. Let me just play Kingdom Come how I want. Adam's our DM for Thomas, who maybe knows.
My issue with
I'm also DM for Thomas.
Rory, is that The Division is a Tom Clancy game.
It has his
if
name
you're putting Tom Clancy in the title, you need to die if you get shot in the head.
I mean, if your case is that, okay, so this is an interesting one actually. So I'm an unusual bridge in this sort of circumstance in that I play The Division, but I also, I would say, generally agree with Andrew on game issues as a general rule. That's an interesting point. Is it anything like my problem, Andrew, with the new way Far Cry has been going?
Probably. What's your issue?
Well, kind of that, actually, is I feel like Far Cry is going more in the Ubisoft RPG side than in the being a Far Cry game side.
Yes. It's almost exactly like that. The thing with Far Cry, though, is that I feel like they're only introducing that mechanic because they've brought microtransactions into the fold.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they've got microtransactions and they've got tiered loot. So the difficulty is now based on the type of loot that you have, the type of gear that you're using.
Right. Yeah.
It's no longer based on the player's skill level, which historically it has been.
Yeah.
But now it's based on, how long do I have to play this game to find the best loot so that I can actually finish it? It's all about engaging the player more and more. It's this artificial engagement that the game is designed around, and it's no longer about. A lot of people like that. Okay, that's
guaranteed,
fair.
definitely.
But there
are
a
lot of people.
I mean,
for me,
this is changing the series midway through.
Yeah,
for
my
Far
own
Cry,
part,
yeah,
it's,
that's dumb.
I don't mind that existing. I just wish I could also have Far Cry. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There should be an actual video game mode. Like, you go into the menu and there's a little thing that you can tick, and it's called turn this into an actual video game. And you tick it, and then it turns it into an actual playable Far Cry game.
I disagree with that. I don't like that they changed the series partway through, but I disagree with that.
Bring back Far Cry 2.
And like if Division isn't something that you're interested in, then Ghost Recon exists. You know, it's like so.
Yeah, if the Division played like Ghost Recon, I'd be all fucking over it.
But I will say that I'm glad that they did that with the Division. Like, you have the Division and you have Ghost Recon. Like, I'm glad that they have both. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Why can't they do that with Far Cry?
Tom Clancy's The Division.
That doesn't matter.
It does because Tom Clancy means something. God damn it!
No, it doesn't. He's dead.
I will say, I was too thrown by the Division and how it played but that was less from the Tom Clancy thing and more from the early gameplay footage that I saw that made me believe it was going to be play one way, but it actually
ended up playing another. Yeah.
And I don't think I was really able to get beyond that. However, I think if I were to get the Division 2 and play it with somebody, I would be much more willing to play the game because it sounds like the Division 2 made a lot of
It's very different in that sense.
And upgrades.
like comparatively,
I've heard it's very different.
In the first game, you're real. You can take a lot of hits, and it takes a lot to kill you because there's a lot of enemies and they do a lot of damage. In the second game, they kind of scaled it a bit differently. You're real squishy. Once your armor's gone, it's like 2 hits and you're dead. And they're like they just scaled like how many enemies there are and how much damage they do outright. So it's still not Ghost Recon. It's not realistic, but it definitely feels different than the first game.
So this was today's podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we're going to be back next week with some more podcast. And Adam or somebody will be hosting that time.
Also, this game is awful. Oh, that's my
what game are you playing? I don't even remember.
Borderlands 1.
Oh, you're playing Borderlands 1.
This is not a soloable game at all. I've died like 1,000 times trying to do one mission.
In my opinion, Borderlands is a co-op game, and it's surprising. Like, I understand why you can play it solo, but like it's so based on class balance that I'm.
Oh man, it's terrible.
Amazed that.
Fucking play the Division
it can
if you want to
actively
play
be
something
played.
like this. The gunplay is awful. Anyway.
I'm gonna play the new Hitman soon.
Oh,
like
you
the
should.
New Hitman games.
Fantastic.
I need to go back. I'm gonna go back and play more stealth games because I kind of miss stealth games. So there's not very many of them. Anyways, yeah, we'll be back next time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And it's a very long podcast. And maybe next week's will be a little shorter.
Nah. 4 hours.
I'll try.
Hashtag 4-hour podcast.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you for listening, everyone.